Hey, folks, Dave back here, and guess what I'm playing? Yeah, any idea what I'm playing here? So, I'm just kind of setting up my screen here. I had to jump on tonight, and I don't want to keep hammering away with the same game like I always do, but every now and then you find a game that is just so fun, so fun. And this quick decks football game here is uh is that. It's exactly what that is. It is just so fun. And so I figured I'd jump on here tonight and just play a couple of minutes. I'm not going to be on long tonight, I don't think. I was tempted to try to play a whole game, but I still want to. I want to get a little bit better at it. I want to get a little bit faster. Um, I have all my questions here for Grant. He's going to hate me by the end of this. He really is. Because you know me, I pick apart rule books, and I want to make sure I'm absolutely correct. And if I'm reading something here and something here and it doesn't match up, I want to know why. I like everything to line up and everything to match. So I'll be hammering him with another round of questions and the whole bit. Sorry, Grant, but none of them are huge. None of them are anything like It's just kind of there's a couple things that'll pop up. It's like, okay, what's the deal here and what's the deal here? Most of it's just confirming what I think. But anyway, so what I wanted to kind of talk to you tonight about real quick as I'll roll a couple of plays. Oh, I'm using my new chart here. This is something I just created the other day. And basically, it's just, the quarter, the time, the team, down and distance, location, what play was called, who's what player, and the result. So if I want to go back, all my stats are right here. And I even calculated the drive. So Tampa's first drive was 8 plays, 32 yards. Minnesota was 12 plays, 68 yards. And then Tampa Bay, 3 plays, 64 yards. And that's what I want to talk about. The mark of a good game is something you get excited about, something you want to play. And there's been a lot of games here that I on the channel that I couldn't wait to come home and play. And this was one of those games that I can't wait to come play this game. It's that fun. I'm really hoping he can pump out a couple more seasons, 78, 79, 80, 81. That's my wheelhouse. So I think he's got an 83. So I think I'll have to grab the 83, and I think he's getting 90. But boy, I'd love to play those 79 bucks or that 81 ice bowl or whatever that was called, the freezer bowl, and then the catch game would be fun. So anyway, what happened just now? This just happened. I wish I was streaming this. Tampa Bay is hanging in there with the Bucks. This is the 77 Bucks, and they're hanging with the Vikings. I mean, they're hanging with the Vikings, and so they took the opening kickoff, and this guy ran it back 24 yards. So they had it at the 36. So they got great starting field position. They sputtered out, and they missed a long field goal. Minnesota, of course, took it, went down 12 plays, 68 yards. Minnesota scored a touchdown. I figured that 7-0 Minnesota. Tampa, another great return. This same guy, I think it was this Carter guy, just returns it for 26 yards, and they start at the 36-yard line again. No, actually, it was Johnson going 30 yards, gets it to the 36. Okay, and they just went nuts here. They incomplete, then a 16-yard pass, so that puts it at the Minnesota 48-yard line. And then check this out: on 1st and 10, I rolled a deep pass to their top receiver. This is Tampa Bay, right? And I roll, and there was pressure on the play. He barely escapes the pressure. Okay, like I rolled, and it was like one higher than the pressure. So Steve Spurrier escapes the pressure. He fires this deep pass, not a long pass, deep pass, which is the deepest pass in the game. Morris Owens has got a 19 on the chart here to catch it, which I think is 19%. I could be wrong, but he's got a 19 right out of 100 plus. Yeah. Okay. Then on top of that, I rolled a minus 10. So now it's down to 9. There's a 9% chance. So now I'm looking at the absolute lowest column here, okay, out of all. And you can see the higher the better. So all these are completions. For some reason, this card had the P. And the P means I checked the pass deflection range of the defense. The pass deflection range of the defense was 1 to 13. And I rolled a 14. Everything's going right in this play for the Bucs. The pressure was on. I roll 1 out of the pressure range, right? He gets away. He fires it. Not only is the entire card a possibility of a catch, the entire card possibility, which is exactly what you need if you're down in the 9% range. Again, because I had 19 minus 10, so what was the card here? I forget where the card was now. But it was a minus 10 on the pass. Now I can't put my hand on it. There it was. It was minus 10 on the pass, right? Minus 10 on the pass. It gave me a 9. I flip this card. I got the P. I roll again on the pass deflection, 1 to 13. I rolled a 14. And then I flipped the card, and so now his deep range was 114. And because I had not only was it minus 10, okay, on this card here, but it was a plus 10 in the passing yards. So that 114 turned into 124. And actually, thanks to Grant, he kind of cleared up over 100 what that was. So anything over 100, you just tack on. So I had 124. So I had 24, and I tacked that on to the 100 range, which was, I forget what it was, but it get up to about like 60 or 60, something like that. It was a 48-yard TD pass is what I'm getting at. I threw it. I think it was 54. I think it was 24 and 28. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 24 and, oh, no, it was one of those two. 24 and, 32. 24 and 32. So it was a 56-yard pass. But I only had 48 yards to go, and I think that was within range of the end zone, right? Because the end zone's 10 yards deep. So he aired it out. He got the bomb, and it's a touchdown. And they made the extra point. Where's our Red Sox fan when you need him? And they made the extra point. So how crazy is that? Wow. So I'm pretty jazzed about this game right now. How fun it is. And so this is my new setup right now. So I know that the field looks a lot better, but this is how I'm playing off lines. I got my notes here. I got a place to put my dice. I got my colored dice so I can, get in the team spirit. And I have my cards over here. All my charts around here. Anything else I need is off on the side. And this has been fun. And that pass was insane. It really was. So Tampa, a 48-yard bomb. And I threw it, like I say, 52 yards. I forgot to check the end of the end zone, but now I look back. If it was 50, 52 or 56, he's still within the so 58 would have been the long. So anything over 58, I think, would have been out of the end zone. But wow. Oh, yeah, these are big keys here. This is the wireless keyboard that I got for my fat fingers. Yeah, it was. And yeah, I like to make things like that, little charts like that. Gary draws by as well. And my name is Mud. Thanks for coming by. And yeah, I watched the interview that. I was watching that. I was watching some of the, I think I had it on the other day. I fell asleep, so I got to go back and watch because I put on YouTube at night and I fall asleep to everything. And Charles comes by, and it is Tampa Bay. I always call him Tampa Bay. I hate when people call him Tampa. I never like that. It's not so much vision yet. I have glasses, so that helps, Charles says he finally pulled the trigger on this. Nice. Well, I'm going to play a little bit more here, folks. It's not going to be visually pleasing right now because I don't have it all set up to look nice, but I had to jump on tonight and talk about that. 3 plays, 64 yards. Again, and the first one was incomplete. It was an incomplete pass. Then he threw it to McNeil, and he got 16 yards, which is pretty good for an intermediate pass. And then the 48-yard bomb to Owens. I'm still talking about that. And I had that happen one time in solitaire pro football too, where it was the last play of the game or something like that, and I threw up a desperation pass, and the guy caught it. desperation pass, and he got the touchdown. And it was just so dang cool. It really was. It was so darn cool. Let me come a little closer here. I think I could probably come a little closer. Let's try to straighten it out over here. Hopefully that's not too bad. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. How long does it take for an Apple product to arrive? Oh, Keith comes by too. Hi, Keith. It really depends. Sometimes they're pretty quick, like in a week or two, and sometimes they're a little bit between 2 and 3 weeks. But I find with Appa, when we had John on the show, I think he says that they ship on certain days. So if you were to order on a certain day, that would go into the pipeline, and then on whatever day they blast them out. Whereas if you ordered on that shipping day or the day after, you kind of have to wait till the next shipping day. I think that's what he said. That being said, I ordered the football game Tuesday morning, kind of hoping I would get that in quick. And I got a confirmation yesterday on the extra shipping for the game. It was like an extra $4 to ship that in the cards. So we'll see when that comes to me. But I ordered it last Tuesday. For me here in the Boston area, I'm usually looking at 10 days. Just to give you an idea. I'm usually about 10 days because I'm away from Georgia. So just by shipping, it's probably 3 or 4 days shipping. So if it takes them, 2 or 3 days, 4 days to kind of get the order together, pack it and ship it, there's another 3, 4 days up here, not including the weekend. So, I mean, I should probably get mine next week. If I were to get it this weekend or Monday, I'd be thrilled. So just give you an idea. There's no time frame per se. If you don't see it for 3 weeks, then there's a problem. Then say, hey, look, what's going on with my order here? But give it at least 10 days before you start to panic. And yeah, sometimes he's right. Usually pretty quick. Said the main reason for delays is the season needed printing, and that usually only delays things a week or two. Yep. Oh, and he gets the stuff in about a week. Yep. And you ordered your hockey game, and okay. What seasons did you get? Just kind of wondering. All right, let me play a little bit more of this while we chat. Again, this is just kind of an open chat. I'm not really showing off the game tonight. I'm kind of playing it while I'm chatting with you guys, just because I'm really having fun. All right, so just giving an idea where we are. Well, he was bragging about how quickly they get them printed. No, it's really not that bad. Considering how many seasons they have in stock, if I like their football game, I'm hoping to get more seasons in stock. Because some of the ones I like are out of stock. Although the last time I looked into their football game, I want to say it was about 6 months ago. They didn't have a lot of seasons in stock. And I was like, well, I'm not going to get the game, so I like it. Then there's not going to be many seasons in stock. But now I looked and there was a few more seasons in stock. So anyway, I guess I'm in a football kick right now because I got another football game I need to kind of jump on in the next couple of weeks. But right now I'm playing this one. So Minnesota has the ball after that touchdown, kind of quieted the crowd in Minnesota. What was that? Where did they play? Is that Met Stadium? I was outside in '76. So they Foreman went outside for 2.5 yards, and he went inside for 3.5 yards. And they used the half yards in this game, and I think that's pretty cool. I really think that's cool, And so now they have a 3rd and 4 on their own 26-yard line. That's where we pick things up here. And so okay, you went with 1998 for On the Turf Quick Decks. Nice. Oh, you ordered the hockey franchise all-star set. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to play a couple more here. And again, I'm not going to rush. I'm not rushing through this. I've been at this all night, and I'm still in the first quarter, but I'm logging in everything, and I'm not trying to race, and I have all my stats, and it's kind of fun. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's if you're talking about app, it is kind of old school stuff. So I mean, it is what it is. 98, the great Vikings collapse. Yeah, it is. All right, so let's play a little bit more here. Now, you know what's going to happen now. All the crazy stuff's going to happen now that I turn the camera on. Okay. All right, so this is how I play, just so you know. So I roll the 220s, and I got my purple dice for Minnesota because they're on offense. Then I get my generic white dice and some orange for Tampa Bay if they need to. All right, so we got a 3rd and 4. So on a 3rd and 4, be right here in a 6. Oh, they're going to run a stretch run. So I'm just going to run stretch. So I like to see, like I say, what plays they're running. So I designed this with the details that I would want. So they're going to run a stretch play. And 9, if I look at my chart here on stretch, a 9 will be Chuck Foreman. All right, so Foreman, again, they're going 3 times to Foreman. Outside, inside, and stretch. All righty, so let's see what happens on the stretch play. So there's no penalty or anything here. Nothing on the stretch, so that's kind of a moot point. So it's going to be a straight reading off the stretch of 41. And 41 is 3.5. Oh, boy. 3.5 yards. Yeah. So on 3rd and 4, he gets 3.5 yards. So it's going to leave a 4th and a half yard on the Minnesota 29.5 yard line. So they got to get to the 30. So do I go for it here? And the reason I ask that is you normally wouldn't, right? I don't think anybody would normally go for it in this situation, but you're playing the expansion team. And by the way, this game didn't happen in 76. They would play each other in 77 when Tampa went to the national side. So I'm wondering what we do here. Can you measure from a half yard? No. What'll actually happen is I can do a couple of things. I can try the quarterback sneak, although I told Grant the quarterback sneaks are kind of tough in this game because you barely get a half yard sometimes in this game. If you land it, what's the great thing about this game? If you landed on the 10-yard mark, or if you land on the first down mark, there is a roll for it. There's a measurement. That's really cool. There was another game that did that too, and I really liked that. I was like, oh, it's not an automatic first down. You got to roll for it. And it's their own 30-yard line right now, Gandalf. Yeah. You can't measure from a half yard. You have to land right on it. And it's his own 30. And Gridiron says he's a perfectionist. I am too. And he's trying to rework visual design. I get it. You want things to look nice. So like I said, this is all messy here tonight because I'm just playing. So, yeah, I don't think you can go for it either, Gandalf. Oh, Solitaire Pro has the measurement too. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, that this game and Solitaire Pro right now, they're right up there for me. They're both fantastic. Own 30. I think you punt away. I think you're right. I did that in the Bills game the other night, the Patriots Bills game. I went for it like my own 35 or something like that because it was only a half yard and I didn't get it. All right, so we're gonna punt it away. So now I haven't punted all game. So we're going to do our punt procedure here. See if I can get it right this time. All righty. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll for a punt and roll to check the fair catch and roll to see who's going to get it. So I like to roll 3 here. So there's my punt, my fair catch, and that's the guy who's going to get it. And then we need to flip here. Oh, boy. We got a fumble. Team FF. Now, Minnesota has the FF. So what I need to do, I knew that as soon as I turned on the camera, something crazy would happen. Team FF means a defense have forced a lot of fumbles that season. Well, technically, they're not on defense because it's special teams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that is not going to be a potential fumble because it's not defense. They're technically on offense right now. Okay. And so let's see here. So I'm going to say no fumble, no penalty, no nothing. So that's going to be gone. So let's look at the punt here. So we have kicking this away is Neil Clabo. He's going to kick it away with the 2, and that's not good at all. That's 31 yards, and a fair catch is 1 to 8. So it's going to be a fair catch on the 1 to 8. All right, so we don't even worry about it. So it'll be fair caught by Danny Reese is going to fair catch this. So he's going to kick this one. That's a bad punt, 31 yards. So if he's on the 29 and a half, he's going to kick this. Well, to get it to the 50 would be 20 and a half, right? And then 11 yards from that would be the 39, 38 and a half. Let me just do some quick math here. Sports Time Machine showed me how to do this. So 29.5 plus 31 is going to be 60.5 minus 100. So yeah, the 39.5-yard line. So that player is going to be, it's going to be a fair catch. And we said Danny Reese is going to make the fair catch. And he's going to make that fair catch at the after a 31-yard punt at the 39.5-yard line. So you might enact the FF if there was a return, but definitely not on a fair catch. Yeah. Well, again, if I'm reading the rule book, the rules say means a defense had forced a lot of fumbles that season. And I do think on a punt, don't get me wrong, I think on a punt, if I pull out the punt things here, it's got to be a fumble on the snap for the punter, a fumble on the quarterback is for the punter, and then a fumble on the return. So yeah, fumble, quarterback, bad snap, fumble on the returner. But yeah, so I think the FF, I'm going to play it as that's got to be a defense. That's how I'm going to play it, Yeah, the punter can fumble the snap if it's a bad snap or if it's a fumble quarterback. That's the other thing in this game. There's different kinds of fumbles. So again, it adds to the volume of the game, but that's what makes it fun because sometimes, unlike on that one there, I'm not going to play the fumble. So, well, they're technically on offense. Minnesota's technically on offense. So again, I'm not gonna. That's how I'm gonna do it. I can ask him about it. Ask him about the FF on special teams. So my grant list is growing. But there's just a lot of little things I like to find out. That would be a bad snap I think it has to say bad snap. I think. Or no, I see what you're saying. So so Tampa Bay's on defense. They're not the FF though, because Minnesota's kicking, so Tampa's on the defense, and so their FF rating. Yeah, I don't think that would actually work like that. So again, the FF. They have an opportunity to force a fumble, but they have to decide before going any further if they want to try to force a fumble on the QB or the receiver. So this wording here leads me to believe that there has to be some kind of a offensive play with a quarterback and a receiver, So I'll ask about that as far as the FFs on the special teams, but the wording says quarterback and receiver. It doesn't say punter. So I'm going to go with that. So that's a 31-yard kick to the 39.5-yard line. So that drive sputters. So that's a three-play drive, and they got 9.5 yards. Yeah, they didn't go very well. So Minnesota is struggling here, and so we got 3.5 minutes to go. Tampa Bay has the ball, first and 10, and that'll be on their own 39.5-yard line. So Tampa Bay has started on their own 36, right? So that was a Tampa drive. It's Minnesota, and they started on their own 36. So they started on their own 36, and now their own 39. So this expansion team is playing really well. All right, so we're going to move that die out of the way. Yeah, and when the team punts the ball, they become the defense. Again, that's the great thing about these games. You kind of interpret your own way. I'll get the official word from Grant, what he thinks should be called. But, I overthink, but I'm trying not to overthink anymore. I'm trying to just think, okay, if that's a forced fumble and it reads quarterback and receiver, I'm thinking the defense has to have that. Minnesota's on offense, kicking it away. So if Tampa was punting it and that come up, maybe I check for a quarterback fumble, or a punter fumble. I guess I could. So you have to decide if it forced a fumble on the quarterback. So we're going to play on here. All right, so Tampa Bay ball tied 7-7 against the Vikings here. So they're first and 10. So we're going to roll a 4 and a 14. So that'll be an inside run, right? Yeah, inside run. And a 14 for Tampa on the inside run is Ed Williams. So Ed Williams is going to carry this one for Tampa. He's going to try the right side this time. And we're going to add 12 to his inside run rating. So Williams inside is a 38. That moves it up to a 50. And that'll be 7 yards on the carry. So Williams plows forward for 7 yards. 3:15 to go here. And it's going to be 2nd and 3. So if they're on the 39 and they get 7, that'd be the 46.5-yard line. So they're up near midfield again. The only thing I found with this game, again, this is only my second full game, is that you play games like game-winning drive and fast drive football, and they talk about having 5 drives a quarter. I got 1, 2, 3. This is only the 4th drive. Now granted, I had a 12-play drive. And one of them was only 3 plays. So I guess it all kind of works out, I don't use the reviews right now because I'm not playing any seasons that have reviews, I'm playing football, PJ. Yeah, I am. I'm stumbling on a new game. Well, I finally get done with my hockey season, or at least the busy part of it. And so now I'm able to this game's been sitting here for a few weeks. So I finally got a chance to play it. All right, so with 7-yard gain by Williams, 2nd and 3 now for the Buccaneers up near midfield. 7 and 17. So on 2nd and 3, 7 is going to be a stretch. So we're going to do a stretch run here. And a 17 on the stretch is Essex Johnson. I don't remember Essex Johnson. But Essex Johnson on the stretch run. Oh, possible penalty here. -5 on the stretch. Let's check the penalty. So on a run, it's a false start. So I need to check the false start ratings, right? Because that's not automatic. I screwed that up one time. So 1 to 15, 13. So that's a false start. So we're going to kill the play right there. I'm not even going to go any further. So we got a flag. And that's a false start. -5. All right. So we're going to replay the down. And it's going to be 2nd and 8 now after the flag. And we're going to back that up now to the 41.5-yard line. So we'll back that up. And getting ready for baseball. And you finish in the 83 Redskins replay. Nice. I think 83 is going to be my next season. Either that or 90. All right, so I got a 2nd and 8 now after the flag. So I got a 13 and 8. So I'm going to go medium pass. So Spurrier is going to go medium pass to 8. On my medium pass chart is going to be John McKay. So the first time I'm going to see the coach's son in action. So he's looking for John McKay. Uh-oh, so we got some pressure coming. So here come the Vikings now. So on the quarterback pressure, it's the quarterback sack and the defensive pass rush. So we have there's 2 different kinds of pressures. Took me a while to figure that out. All right, so the sack is 1 to 6, and we're adding the pass rush, which is 3. So it's a 1 to 9. 12. No. Spurrier's been doing a good job of avoiding that. So he avoids that on the medium pass. So we get no addition to that. So McKay on the medium pass is a 48. Spurrier throws this up to McKay. A 48 is caught. He's going to make the catch. And we're going to add 5 to his range. So on the medium pass to McKay, ooh, that's a 77. And it's going to be -4. So 10.5 yards. Oh, they would have had the first down if it wasn't for that. Oh, they still got the first down. Okay. 10.5 yards. That's a first down. So 2:45 to play here in the first quarter. That's going to be a 1st and 10 for Tampa. They get 10.5 yards. So they get that up over midfield. So to the 42, to the 48. So we're on the Minnesota 48-yard line now. So they've crossed midfield again. So the Viking fans can't believe that this expansion team in their white and orange uniforms are taking it to their home team, who I think they went to the Was this year they went to the Super Bowl, 76, or was that 74? Or was it both? I don't remember. I think they went to the Super Bowl this year. And Charles just picked up Stone Cold to do a 22-23 replay. He's playing 8 teams in Bones and the rest in Stone Cold. Nice. All right, so here we go. First and 10. We got a 12 and a 7. So first and 10, the 12 is going to be an outside run. And they're going to hand this off to Carter. Like Carter from Stargate. All right, outside run for Tampa now at midfield. And we're going to add 8 to that outside run. So Carter on the outside. Right? Outside run. 7, Carter. I like to double check myself here. So he's got a 30. He's got a 38. All right, so 38. And, it's another minus. -2. 6 minus 2 is a 4. So he picks up 4 yards on the outside run. 2:15 to go here in the first. And so we said 4 yards. So it's going to be a 2nd and 6 now at the Minnesota 42-yard line. Still quite a ways out of field goal range. But it's a 2nd and 6 now for the Buccaneers. And the Vikings, okay. Yeah, the Creamsicle Express, yeah. And the Vikings did go to the Super Bowl. Okay. I thought this is the Raiders. Was that the Raiders again? Oh, was that the Steelers? No, Steelers were earlier. I think this was the Raiders. I think. Boy, I'm getting my years mixed up. All I know is Tampa Bay didn't win a game. All right, so I got a 14 and a 19. Oh, boy. So I got a 2nd and 6. 14 is going to be an intermediate pass. Intermediate pass. And a 19 is Rod McNeil. Boy, McNeil's been getting a load of the work here in this game. So Rod McNeil, intermediate pass. Fumble on a run. Okay, nothing here. Nothing. So there's no modifications I need to worry about. So we're just going to go straight up on the intermediate pass to McNeil, which is a 57. And that's going to be complete to McNeil. And a 57 is a 31, and a 31 is 1 yard. So he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So with 1:45 to play here in the first quarter, it's going to be a 3rd and 5 on the Minnesota 41. So he dumped that off to McNeil, but didn't get very far. All right, and I'm not doing an as played either. This is kind of just a quick game. So if somebody wasn't playing in this game that appears, I'm just going to go with it anyway. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, and my signal is bad again. Comcast is screwing up on me again tonight. Unless the wife is streaming something upstairs. I don't know. I don't think so. All right, so let's go. So we got a 3rd and 5 right now. And I got a 15 and a 1. So on the 3rd and 5, a 15 is, they're going to go medium pass. And it's going to be 1. And that's going to be Morris Owens, who caught the touchdown pass. All righty, so medium pass. Here we go. Medium pass. Oh, he's going to check down. He's checking down. So it's going to be a check down to 13. So the check down is going to be to Johnson. So he's checking down to Johnson. And that's going to turn into a short pass. And it's also -20. So Johnson on the short is a 70 minus a 50. Oh, wrong one. And a 50 is, he's going to make the catch. We're going to add 12 to Johnson. So that's a 17. So that's going to be a 29. And a 29 on the catch is a 2. So he gets 2 yards on the catch. So he checks down to Johnson, gets 2 yards. And so now we're looking at a 4th and 3 on the Minnesota 39-yard line. Well, this is that dilemma I had before. So now the field goal try would be out of his range. He can only go to 48 yards. So he's out of field goal range. If I do a pooch punt, it's probably my best thing. I'm going to do a little pooch punt. And there's a crazy procedure for punts. So I am going to pull out the book here for my pooch punt because it's just a lot going on with that. All righty. So roll a D12 and go on the safe roll, then add the pooch punt cell. Okay. So let's go here. So let's roll some dice. All righty. So that's what we got. Oh, it's 12, we said. Roll to 12. Never mind. Scrub that roll. So we're going to roll a 12. So I got a 6. On the pooch, I don't think there's any. I think you could still fair catch it on the pooch, right? Ignore fair catch rating, okay? And so let's see how far that went. Let's see if there's any penalties or anything. Oh, a possible fumble on the return. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so we have a possible fumble on the return. All right, so he's going to pooch this away. So Tampa now is going to be row 7, and that's going to be right. Is that right? Row 7 is 37 yards. All right, so Dave Green on the punt. 37 yards. So he drops that to the 2. Oh, then I gotta flip a card here too. -3. So it's 34 yards. So that's 34. That drops it to the 5-yard line. Now, what I want to do, I think I'm going to let the punt roll to see if I can get that in the end zone. That's what I'm going to do. All right. And that way there, I don't have to worry about a fumble, especially inside the 5. All right. So he pooches that punt. It drops at the 5, around the 5-yard line. I'm going to let it roll, and we're going to check for the roll. +4 yards. Oh, my gosh. It's going to die at the 1. It's going to die at the 1. So I think that's what it means. Roll it. Apply the result of the post. Yeah, I think that would be forward. Plus would be forward. Yeah. And it was the Raiders. Okay. Yeah, 76 had the Raiders. Okay. And then Johnny says, is there a pooch punt adjustment on the GAC, or is that if you punt to the corner? No, I just read the thing here on the punts. The punts are the hardest part of the game. On a pooch punt, you roll the D12, and then it's kind of locked in between 4 and 11 on the D12. And so you don't get the shortest kick, but you definitely don't get any long kicks. You're kind of in the middle. And then you flip a card and look at the pooch punt, which is over here, and that gives you how far it went. So I dropped that down, and then I let it roll, and I needed 5 yards to get it to the end zone, and it went 4, so it died at the 1. So Minnesota takes over with a minute to go, 1st and 10 on their 1-yard line. That's how it's going right now for the Vikings. So that Tampa drive was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays, not including the punt. I don't think you include punts. And they went, let's see. So they went 2, 12 and a half, 17 and a half, 9. They went about 20 yards. And that's what Tampa Bay. All righty. Appa 66er comes by. Nice punt down to the 1 ID, right? Boy, that just kind of worked out well. You should have seen the play earlier that I did. It was so I'm playing the 76 Buccaneers and the 76 Minnesota Vikings. They didn't play in real life, but I don't think so. I'm just playing this one here for fun. Someone had requested that. And Tampa had the ball in the Minnesota 48. It called for a deep pass, which is the deepest pass in the game. It's beyond long. It's deep. And they got rushed. The quarterback eluded the rush. So by 1, then he threw the pass up. I had a 9% chance of catching it. It was available to be caught, but I had to check the deflection rating of the defense because they tried to knock it away. And I missed that by 1, and the guy caught it, and he got like 50 yards on the play for the touchdown. It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts that Tampa Bay threw a bomb. And again, this is all rolling the dice. I'm not picking the bomb. The dice spit it out, And so I was like, that was so cool. So Tampa Bay with a 48-yard bomb tied the game, and that's where we are right now. All right, so Minnesota on the 1. So let me pull out my Minnesota dice now. and Napa 66 comes by. I started to watch the your video today about that crazy comeback, a crazy fourth quarter, and I ended up and I want to like sit down and watch. I was watching it here, and I was getting distracted. So like, I'm gonna watch that later. So I'm enjoying that. I'm waiting for my app of football to arrive, and I think me and ID are gonna play some app of football. That's what he said he wanted to do. Yeah, that was nuts. It was fun. I mean, that's what we play these games, and it's kind of cards and dice, and you think, how much fun could this be? But that was nuts. The chances of a 9% chance for the pass, and then I had to avoid the rush and avoid the pass deflection, and it all went Tampa's way, and he got the touchdown. So, and then the punt now down to the 1. So Minnesota backed up on the 1-yard line. Here we go. And Philip Reynolds comes by. Hi, Philip. And yeah, we'll get together and play some Apple football. Make sure you get all the cards out to play it. Yeah, that's funny. Like I said, I'm going to try it out. Appa 66er, go check out his channel. He's been playing some basic football, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. That's kind of why I want to play, because I like what I see. But I'm liking what I see here tonight on this game, too. All right, so 1st and 10 on the 1-yard line with a minute to go here in the first quarter, as we say. And it's going to be Minnesota ball. So on 1st and 10, they're going to go medium pass. So Tarkenton's going to be throwing from his end zone, and he's looking for, on the medium pass, he's looking for Ahmad Rashad. All righty, so Ahmad Rashad looking for the medium pass. Oh, there's no pressure. Oh, he's checking down. He's checking down. And this is where I think Grant was saying how the defense is kind of built in. So they must have put in some kind of a pass defense that's forcing Tarkenton to check down. So he's got to check down. So let's see he's going to check down to 8 on the check down. Is Chuck Foreman. So he's going to look for his running back. So he's going to check down to Chuck Foreman. All righty. But if he gets it, we get to add to it, though. So Chuck Foreman on the short pass is an 80. And 80 is complete. And we're going to add 30 to 19 for 49. And, it's going to be plus 4. Oh, it's going to be 9.5 plus 4. So that's 13.5 yards. So we checked down to Chuck Foreman. And if I'm correct, it's 13.5 yards. So with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter, Minnesota has the ball. First down. And they get it out to the 14.5 yard line. So they dig out of a hole here, and they got some breathing room now. So Tarkenton with a nice play. Yep. Better than checking up. Yes, it is. So we're going to that's going to be an inside run. I know that. So we're going to go inside run to 20. No, who's 20? Holy cow. Sammy Johnson. I think I remember Sammy Johnson. So Sammy Johnson is going to go inside for the Vikings. And so we're going to go -3. So his inside is a 59, so it's a 56. And he'll pick up 6 yards the hard way. All righty. So that'll end the first quarter. And so we got a 2nd and 4 coming up on the Minnesota 20.5 yard line. All right. So let me get a new sheet of paper over here. And like I said, this is my little paper I'm using here. As you can see, it's just it's 7-7 ID. So that's just what I'm doing here. Again, the writing's messy, but I just kind of do it. I'll recap the scoring here. So you had Minnesota got the ball here on their 31.5 yard line, and they drove it all the way down, and it ended up being what was it? A medium pass, actually. So it was this guy Lash. Never heard of Lash before. Jim Lash. So Jim Lash took the pass from the 4-yard line on 1st and goal. He got 5 yards, call it 4 yards for the touchdown. And then Tampa come right back. They took the kickoff 30 yards to the 36. So they're at the 36. Pass was incomplete to McNeil. Then they got it to McNeil for 16 yards. And then here's the deep drive right here. Deep pass to Owens, 48 yards, TD, extra point, good. That's just cool. That's just cool. So this is going to be quarter 1 right here. I'm going to slide that off to the side. And so where was I? So this will be quarter 2. And so quarter two, so 15 minutes on the clock. Minnesota has the ball. 2nd and 4 on the 20.5-yard line. All righty, so that's where we stand. I'll put that over here so I can get at it. All right, so Minnesota ball now. They're at the 20-yard line, call it, just outside the 20. A little bit of breathing room here, starting on the 1. What if they go 99 yards? That'd be nuts, right? All right, so we have an 8 and a 6. 2nd and 4, and an 8 is going to be a stretch run. So they're going to try the stretch run to 6. And that'll be Chuck Foreman. So Chuck Foreman on the stretch run. Nothing crazy going on here. So, nope, absolutely nothing off of that card. And the stretch run of 41 is 2.5 yards. So, what I've been doing is 30 seconds off the clock for runs and catches and 15 seconds for like incomplete passes and kicks and stuff like that. I think it just kind of works out. All right, so Minnesota has the ball now. So it was 2nd and 4. They get 2.5. So it's going to be 3rd and 1.5 yards on the 22-yard line. So Minnesota now has a 3rd and short. And Doug comes by. Thanks, Doug. And ID says, this game looks like it is telling a good story about what is happening in the game. Yeah, I mean, because, well, you played the, the second season and you played the play-by-play games. When you go play-by-play, it's a long slog. I've been at this, since supper tonight. But again, I'm taking my time. And I'm just kind of enjoying it. And I'm, watching people on YouTube. And, then I fired up the camera here. So I'm taking my time. At some point, I'll see how fast I can play. But tonight, I'm not looking to play fast. And I already have a storyline. I get Minnesota taking a lead, and then Tampa throwing the bomb, and then Tampa pinning them deep at the 1. And now this drive comes out. You never know what's going to happen. And yeah, good. Every 6 weeks, that's good. So more coming. Yeah, I'm hoping he does. I know there's a bunch of people that said they've ordered some games from him. Since I put my videos up. So hopefully I'm helping him. Get some interest in the game, and he'll put out some seasons, and it's a win-win for everyone. 3. All right, so 3rd and 1.5 yards on a 22. 3rd and 1.5 yards. So I got a 17, a 3rd and 1.5 yards. So 17 is going to be a short pass. So Tarkenton's going to look for the short pass, and a 12 on a short pass is going to be Chuck Foreman. So Foreman coming out of the backfield looking for this little flare pass. And okay, nothing going on here. We got a -12 on the passing. So Chuck Foreman, we said short pass. He is an 80. And 80 is complete, but we -12 from the, 19. 19 minus 12, 7. It's a 0 to 9. Oh, he's going to get 3 yards. Just enough. So on 3rd and a little over a yard, a little toss out to Chuck Foreman. He gets 3 yards, and that's a first down. So Minnesota keeps the drive alive, and they'll get out to the 25-yard line. And that's where we stand. All right, so we play on. Am I liking this game? I'm loving this game, Doug. I am. It came at the right time. It came at a time that I was finished up with my busy part of the schedule. And I pulled out the game, and Grant come on with me Tuesday night. I had Tuesday night off from work for a change. And we talked about the game, and he explained it. And then I finally pulled it out and went over it. And I sat down with it, and it just made sense. It just made sense. Yeah, I think I'm liking the game too. Yeah. And again, it's a busy game. It's not an easy game, but neither is it a hard game. There's just a lot to remember. So I got my little, I started my little cheat sheet here for Quick Decks football. It's just kind of the things that I was running into that I was having a problem remembering. I just kind of threw on a chart, if you will. But I played a full game of the Patriots and the Bills. And it was 26-0 the Patriots. And I think I made some mistakes on that one. Like I said, there's a lot of little things. Like on the kickoff, for example, each team, after the kickoff is all said and done, you subtract 3 from the return. And I think I wasn't doing that. And then I wasn't checking for the fair catches on the punts. So there's a lot of little things that I need to do. Yeah, this is right up there with Solitaire Pro Football season ticket and even Fast Action Football. It's different than the other ones. Different enough is what I should say. I hate comparing games, but sometimes that's the best way to do it. Because if you played any of the games I mentioned, you'd be like, oh, if it's like that, I might like it, you know. But again, it's a play-by-play football game, and sometimes it takes a bit to figure out the play. So it's going to be a while, but it's very rewarding. Watch the ebbs and flows of the game. We talked about that, I think, on the show, that when you play the quick play games, you don't get the mundane plays leading up to the terrific play. You just get the terrific plays, and it's just so sometimes you like you got to have the opening band. Then they get you warmed up for the big band. All right, so we got a 1st and 10 on the 25 for the Vikings. So we have an 11 and 19. So we're going to go outside run and a 19 on an outside run. That's what I love about the games like this, where you roll the die and it randomizes everything. That just really adds to the story too. So on an outside run on a 19, it's going to be Robert Miller. I've never heard of Robert Miller, but on a 19, he's going to get the outside run. So here we go. An outside run, minus 15. Woo! Minus 15 on the outside run. So Miller is a 43, minus 15 would be 28. So on the 28, he just picks up a yard. So the stingy Buccaneer defense holds him to a yard. So 13:30 to go here in the half. And so we have a 2nd and 9 on the 26 of Minnesota. I put a little M next to it so I know we're on the Minnesota side of the 50-yard line. All right, 2nd and 9. We got a 5 and a 14 here. So that's going to be on a 2nd and 9. They're going to go inside run. Interesting. So they're going to keep it on the ground. And a 14 will be McClanahan. And again, if I want to, I can go back, and maybe I will at the end of this when I'm done, is I'll go back and I'll put in all the stats and just kind of have a nice little recap of all the stats after the fact. All right, so McClanahan, inside run, and he is a 30. And again, I'm not using the review because that's something that just takes place at in the future. In the future. And so nothing else going on here. So I'm not going to worry about that. There's no modifications. So we're just going to go right off his 30, I said, right? Yep, 30 inside run and 1.5 yards. So Buccaneer D really standing up here as Minnesota gets it, and it'll be 3rd down and 7.5 on the Minnesota 27.5-yard line. I do like the halves. I didn't think I was going to like the half-yard lines. It just adds that little extra wrinkle to the game, It really is. And I'm going to give it a try. And yeah, get his games. I love his channel. He plays all the games that I play. The Stone Cold, the Hockey Blast Express. He plays this. I didn't realize he played this one. He's got a fun channel too. He's one of the channels I like to watch. All right, folks, what do you think? 3rd and a little less than 8, we'll call it. They never say half, so we said a little less than 8. Uh-oh. We got a 1. And inside run, but they might call the audible. I think we are. We're going to call the audible, so we're going to roll this again. And so we're going to go 9. How about that? So that's a little bit better. So medium pass. Yeah, they looked run. They didn't like the defense. So we're going to go medium pass. And the medium pass, we're looking for Chuck Foreman again. I used to like Chuck Foreman. He wore my number. All right, medium pass to Chuck Foreman. Sorry about that. Still can't get rid of this cough. The wife's feeling better, though. Holy cow, she was sick for 6 weeks. I was really concerned, like she was going to end up in the hospital. And she's finally, after 3 rounds of antibiotics, she's feeling better. Now she can get me a beer, and not complain about being tired, Kidding. All right, I haven't drank in years, just so you know. So that way she doesn't have to get me beers, but she can still get me my Gatorade Zero though, right? All right, so we said that's going to be a medium pass to Chuck Foreman. Yep, Chuck Foreman. Let's see what we got here. So he is a 61. And we got some pressure coming here from the defense. All right, so Tampa's coming from this time. So on a medium pass, they're coming from. And on the defense, we're going to check their range, their rushing range. Their rushing range is 1 to 6. It's not that good. 1 to 6. Nope. So he avoids the rush, and he's going to get this pass off. Oh, he's got to check down, though. Oh, I just saw that. He avoids the pressure, but Tarkenton doesn't have anything to look at, so he's going to check down. So we're going to see. Who's he checking down to? 16. He's going to check down to McClanahan. So Foreman wasn't open, so McClanahan is his intended target. We're going to subtract 10 on the check down. So on the short pass to McClanahan, that 83 is a 73. And that's going to be incomplete. The Buccaneer defense will hold. So it's going to be incomplete. And so that'll bring up a 4th down and 7.5 from the Minnesota 27.5 yard line, and they're going to have to punt this one away. So the Buck defense comes through, and the outdoor crowd here, as the snow starts to fall here in Minnesota, is not happy about what they're seeing, you know. And so here we go here. This is going to be the punt, and we got to check to see if anything's going on here. Okay, so there's no penalties, and there's no blocks, and there's no fumbles. So that's out of the way. I like how quick that goes. All righty. So in the kick is going to be Neil Clabo. And so he's going to get a 12. And who's back to receive this here? For the Buccaneers, it's going to be other. So let's get somebody besides other. So we'll go Danny Reese. So Danny Reese is back to receive this punt. And he's going to make the fair catch. So 1 to 8 is a fair catch. So I made me a little chart here. Remember to roll for fair catch. So roll the punt, the fair catch, flip a card to see if it's blocked, and then see who's going to get it. And then if I have to roll again for the return, I will. But this is going to be another fair catch. And on the 12, he's going to punt this one 40 yards. So they got it on the 27. So that'll be 67.5. 33.5 yard line, right? So they're going to punt that to the 33.5 yard line of Tampa Bay on the 40-yard punt, if I'm correct, right? All righty. So Tampa will take this over here with 12.5 to go in the half. They'll be 1st and 10 on their own 33.5 yard line. So there we go. All right, Buccaneer ball. Buccaneer ball. And why am I a brave man? Oh, is that the beer comment? Yeah. So hopefully that was it. Yeah, I was just kidding around with her. All righty. So there we go. So Tampa ball, 1st and 10. We're tied at 7-7, by the way. Again, all the scoring in the first quarter. All right, so Tampa ball, 1st and 10. So 1st down, that's going to be an inside run, and 16 for Tampa. Can't believe they're hanging in this game. I'm kind of hoping Minnesota blows them out, just because they shouldn't be winning this game against a Super Bowl team. Essex Johnson. But again, you know, you have that crazy bomb, anything can happen. All right, so Essex Johnson on the inside run with a 36. And inside run, we're going to add 8 to that inside run. So that 36 is going to be a 44. And a 44 is A. Ooh, nice. He's going to break a little bit of a gain here. And Essex Johnson, he's a B runner too. Ooh, so we might be able to pull off some things here. So he's going to go to the A column, which is 12 yards. So Essex Johnson busts that up for 12 yards. And that's going to be a first down for the Buccaneers on their 45.5 yard lines. That's 12 yards. Yeah. So their average starting position for Tampa Bay has been their own 34 yard line. That's just kind of how it's gone for them today. So again, you have that kind of field position. Things are going to go your way. All right. Oh, that last drive for Minnesota, by the way, I like to keep track of the drives. So they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, and they went from the 1, and they got all the way to the 27. So we'll call it 26-yard drive for Minnesota. Just kind of keeping track of some of those things here. So that is that. All right, so Tampa 1st and 10 at the 45-yard, a little over the 45-yard line here. And I got a 12 and a 2. And by the way, there's different cards here. And what I'll do later on is I'll get a little bit more aggressive if they're losing. Sometimes in the final 2 minutes, I'll use this card here to catch up. And then like yesterday for New England, I was using the slow down the clock chart. So there's all these different cards here that you get for depending on, the situation of the game and the team itself. That's really ingenious. I do like that for a solitaire chart. All right, so at 1st and 10, 12 is going to be an outside run. And 2, so that's probably going to be Carter on the outside run. Yeah, so Lewis Carter. So Carter's going to take the ball and run to the outside. And -10 on the outside. So they stack them up. So a 30 turns into a 20, and a 20 is, oh boy, 6 possible yards, but they ran into the D. And the D is roll against the defensive run rating, and we can drop this 6-yard run down to a 3-yard run. So we're going to take the 12-sided die against the run rating, which is 5. And yeah, they stuff him up. So they push him back, and that 6-yard gain turns into a 3-yard gain. Still positive yards, if you're happy about that. So 3 yards for Tampa. 11.5 to go. Tampa with the ball. 2nd and 7 on the Tampa 48.5-yard line. So they're up at midfield again. And I can picture them right now in their white uniforms in that first year going against the purple people eaters. You know what I mean? I can kind of picture that in my head as I'm playing this game. Oh, do you know what I meant to do? Hang on a sec. I meant to do this. Hang on a sec. Intermission. This is what I meant to do in my next broadcast. Right? 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 There we go. I totally forgot that I got these years and years ago. Look at that. Does that add a little bit of flair? Is that going to do it? Is this going to put people over the edge to buy the game now? Is this, 27 pieces of flair? I got a little bit of glare on the Bucks there. Not much I can do about that. Oh, I can do that though. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Does that look good? Yeah. The thing that's hooking me is how it handles defense. Yeah. Well, again, this is the quick game. Okay. This is the quick Dex version. If you use the on the turf full version, there's one for offense and one for defense. So you can kind of call both, and it really kind of gets busy with that. But again, it's more detail and there's more modifications. This is, again, it's supposed to be a quicker play game. It's still going to take you, an hour and a half to play once you get up to speed, depending how many stats you keep. It's just so much fun. I'm really liking this. I didn't think I would tackle the full game, which is behind me over here. But if I can get good at this, I might. But I am liking this, I'm liking this. Yeah, I think that's kind of nice, and this does handle defense quite well, because it's all built in. So you don't have to do a secondary chart. And it much like the Solitaire Pro Football, which I really like too. I haven't played that in a while. I need to pull that out. You don't know what defense is called. And that's just the great thing about it. So when you flip the card and you get like it says passing 10, they don't have the right defense. That means that they're going to get more on the catch. Where if it's a minus, well, now they have the right defense. And there's different things in the game that just you can feel like the defense is in there, and you don't know what's called, but you'll find out if they guess right or not. And Charles heading back to his hockey game. Good luck with that. And ID has the helmet sometimes too. Yeah, I've seen you do that. So, all right. So I forgot about the helmets. I completely forgot. I says, man, I've been never had a chance to pull them out because I'm always doing something different. But now I get the helmets. Now I feel like it's official. All right. So we at 2nd and 7 now at the 48.5-yard line for Tampa Bay. Boy, they are playing well here. All right. 2nd and 7. What do we got? Oh, a 10 and a 20. So 2nd and 7, a 10 is going to be an outside run. So they're going to keep it on the ground. And the 20, who's this going to be? This is going to be the bottom guy. 20 is Jimmy DeBose. So the only way he can carry the ball on an outside run is a 20. So they're going to bring in Jimmy DeBose, who I don't remember. But Jimmy's going to try the outside. And possible fumble on a runner. And minus 15. Boy, the defense. So this is where the defense comes in. They stacked them up pretty good here, is what they did. So they stack them up. A minus 15 for Jimmy DeBose. And so his 31 turns into a 16. Oh boy. And a 16 is the next one plus 2. So minus a half yard plus 2. So 1.5 yards, but he might have fumbled. So he carries this for a yard and a half. And let's see if he fumbles. So his fumble's a 1-7. Right? And no, he doesn't fumble the ball. So he hangs on for a yard and a half. Came loose, but he hung on to it. Then I'd have to do the fumble procedure. And I haven't done one of those in a while. But I think you start with the defense. All right, so second quarter. So it's going to be 11 minutes to go. Tampa Bay with the ball. And it's going to be a second and a third. Third down and 5.5 at the, we're right at midfield. No, we're at the 49. No, midfield. Yep, at the midfield. So we're right at midfield. Interesting. Al Red Sox fan would be proud of me here. Yep, he would be. The only thing that stinks is I'll probably play to the half and then shut it down. But I have to clear out everything here because I'm doing a broadcast tomorrow when I get home from one job. I'm doing live roller hockey from Colorado. So I got to dress this place up and look nice and do a broadcast from Colorado tomorrow. If I get the link, I'll put it up on Facebook or in Discord or something like that so you guys can find it. But yeah, I'll be doing a broadcast. I don't know if they're going on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. I don't know where tonight they're on Facebook. We'll see where they broadcast from. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing some roller hockey broadcasting. So you guys might be able to tune in and watch me live action from the Turtle Man. All right, so we got a 3rd and 5.5. So what do we got here? 3rd and 5.5. So it's going to be, they're going to go outside run to 3. Outside run to 3 is going to be Carter. So they're going to hand this off to Carter. He's going to go left side to see if he can pick up this run on the outside. And, possible penalty. And I think they've stacked him up. So let's check the penalty on a run. It's a hold. It's going to come back. So on an outside run, it's a minus 20. And Carter is 30. So it's going to be a 10. And, it's going to be the next card minus 2. So he's going to get a 2-yard gain. So he gains 2 yards. We got a holding call. And the Vikings are going to decline it because it brings up a 4th down. All righty. So the Vikings will decline the penalty, forcing Tampa to kick this away finally. So with 10.5 to go here in the first half, Tampa has the ball. It's a 4th and 3.5. They did gain 2 yards. So at the Minnesota 48. Now, this is where they threw the bomb the last time. I'm not going to go for it. That's for sure. But all righty. So Reese comes in the punt for the Buccaneers. So let's get 3 dice going now. All righty. So we got a 3. I think that was a 4. 3, 9, and 4. And let's flip here. And okay, so there's no punt block, no fumble, no bad snap. So nothing going on over here. So Dave Reese comes in and kicks this one away. And it's not going to be a fair catch. It's going to be a bad kick, though. It's going to be 33 yards. So a 33-yard kick. It's going to drop the ball at the 15, right? 48 minus 33 is 15. So the kick is to the 15-yard line. And 4 is going to return it. So it's going to be Willis. What you talking about, Willis? So Willis on the return. And so we need to roll one more die. So the kick goes from the 48, 33 yards to the 15. Willis gets it. And what you talking about, Willis? It's going to 4 yards. So 4 yards. And so that'll come to the 19. So here in the second quarter, Minnesota gets the ball, 1st and 10 on the Minnesota 19-yard line. So Tampa goes 1, 2, 3, 4 plays. Tampa Bay. And how far did they go? They're in the 33 and a half, and they got it to the 48. So it's at 16 and a half and 2, 18 and a half. We'll call it 18 yards. So they only went 18 yards to that drive. All right. So Viking ball here at the 19-yard line. 7-7 is our score. Again, in our scoring recap here, it's Vikings get on the board first. It was Jim Lash, who I've not heard Jim Lash, but he caught a 4-yard pass from Tarkington. It was 7-0. And then on that next drive, it was a 48-yard bomb from Spurrier to Owens. And that's how we are. That's where we are right now. We are tied at 7-7. So good test for the game here against the Buccaneers here. But Minnesota is not up to the test here. So we got 18 and a 12. So now Minnesota is going to open it up here. So we're going to go medium pass. And a 12 on the medium pass for Minnesota is going to be Stu Voigt on the medium pass. All right, Stu Voigt, medium pass. And he's got a 61. And on the medium pass, so there's no modifications here. And we said 61 is complete. So Voigt makes the catch, and his medium pass range is a 62. So it's going to be -2 of the next one here. 11 minus 2 is 9. So we'll pick up 9 yards, just shy of the first down. And that's when Minnesota will have the ball. It's going to be 2nd and 1. So they'll have it on the 28-yard line. So Minnesota brings it up to the 28-yard line. And that's where they'll take over on 2nd down. Did I get those helmets out of a gumball machine? No, but somebody did. I got those off of eBay years ago, and so somebody did. Oh, that's gonna be an inside run, I'm pretty sure. So on 2nd and 1, inside run, and what's that? 16. On 16 is McClanahan on the inside run. So McClanahan on the inside run. He's a 30. Possible fumble. So 30 minus 12. So they played it pretty good at the line. Is 18, right? 30 minus 12 is 18. And 18 is 2.5 yards on the carry. We got to check for the fumble, though. So we're going to roll on McClanahan. It's a 1-7. No fumble. And so he'll get 2.5 yards. And that's the first down. All righty. So Vikings moving the ball again. 1st and 10. And on 2.5 yards, that gets it up to the 30.5 yard line. Oh. And here we go. And Grant just announced the next season is 55. Oh, I'm not a 55 guy. That's all right. Somebody will like it, and that's good for them. All right, so we got a 1st and 10 now. I got a 10 and a 6. Outside run. It's probably Chuck Foreman. Yep. So they're going to hand the ball to Foreman. He's going to go on the sweep. His outside run is a 43. Holy cow. It's going to be an 83. He finds a hole. Chuck Foreman, an 83 on the outside. And he's going to, it's only 7.5 yards. That's still good, though. 7.5 yards on the run for Chuck Foreman. And so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 2.5. And they will get this on the 38. So Minnesota at their own 38, inching their way up the field, as you say. 8 and a 6. So 2nd and 2.5. Off tackle. Well, we haven't had an off tackle run tonight. And off tackle, that's going to be Chuck Foreman, too. He's everything below like a 10, Chuck Foreman gets. All right, so Chuck Foreman out off tackle. We haven't had off tackle tonight. A 40. Absolutely nothing going on here. And a 40 is an A. Oh, that's going to be a good run for Foreman, who is a B runner. All right, so let's go to A. And 16 yards. So Chuck Foreman plows through the Buccaneer defense. And he will pick up 16 yards, and that's a 1st down. And now that's going to come over midfield. So if they're at the 38, 10 is 48, 2 is 50. And so they'll be at the Tampa Bay 46-yard line. So Minnesota getting into Tampa territory for the first time in quite some time. I'm going to do a little shuffle here. Oh, I tried to shuffle my cards in my card shuffle, and these don't work. They're just not, maybe they're not coded enough, or maybe what it is. So I don't know. Maybe Grant needs to put these on drive-through cards. Just saying. Grant, are you listening? Drive-through cards would be nice for these. Have some really nice cards that I could shuffle in my shuffle, you know? Because the payoff pitch cards and the shootout cards all work in my shuffler. And Doug just got the 2018 Canadian season from Grant. Yeah, I don't know enough about the Canadian football, so I need to get good at this before I try any from any other versions of football. And David says he wanted to have a season from each decade. Was missing the 50s. That makes sense. All right, so here we go now. So we're going to go Minnesota Vikings now, trying to get something going. They're at the Tampa 46, 8.5 to go in the 2nd quarter. We're tied at 7 apiece. And again, this is 70s football, so I can't expect much. I should probably get a newer season and see how the difference is. So I have a 14 and a 12. And so on 1st and 10, 14 is going to be intermediate pass. So intermediate pass. And we're looking for 12. And 12 is going to be Chuck Foreman. So Chuck Foreman with a couple of carries. Now they're going to send him out for a pass. So Chuck Foreman, an intermediate pass, is a 71. Okay, it does have injuries. Okay, I'm not going to play injuries today. I don't want to get into that. But that's the first injury I've seen in the game. So someone was asking about injuries. Yep, you have injuries. All right, so there's nothing going on here. So intermediate pass +5. Oh, the star. We ignore the star there. That's right. It's kind of confusing. There's 2 places for stars in this game, and they are kind of confusing. So we have a +5 on the intermediate pass to Foreman, which is going to be, it's going to be a 75. So a 75. Oh, good thing they got that bump up, because that's going to be complete. The 75 is complete. So Foreman makes the catch, and an intermediate is a 37, and that'll be 6 yards. Okay, so Chuck Foreman flares out. We'll get that one. He'll get 6 yards, and that's that's out of bounds. I keep forgetting to look at the out of bounds here. But I just kind of go, I've been kind of playing my own way. But, out of bounds on a stretcher and out. Okay, so it's not a stretcher and out, so we'll just play normally. All right, so 7:45 to go. I should keep an eye on that for my time. The other thing why I'm doing this list right here is so I can see how many drives I got, how many plays I got, and kind of compare that to some of the drive-by-drive games to see where this kind of fit in. And I like to do that when I play a full game to see how everything worked out. So we have a 2nd and 4 right now for on the Tampa Bay 40-yard line for Minnesota. The Minnesota still driving here. So I have an 18 and a 1, and an 18 on 2nd and 4 is a medium pass. So they're going to go back to the air, medium pass from Tarkenton, and it's going to be Ahmad Rashad on the 1. All right, so Ahmad Rashad on a medium pass is a 61, and here comes the pressure. Pressure. Pressure and a possible interception. So the Buccaneers are bringing the heat right now. So we have pressure on a medium pass on the defense. So we're doing a defensive pass rush range. It's only a 1-6. Oh, they just missed it. So Tarkenton escapes. We still got to check out the possible interception, though. So Tarkenton escapes. He's going medium pass to Ahmad Rashad. Let's check for the interception first. So on the interception, I've never checked on one of those. I think you just roll against the interception rating plus, and it's -1 over there too. So on the interception, similar to pressure, blah 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 blah. Start with a quarterback's interception range and add or subtract the defense interception rate. Yep. So the interception range for Tarkenton is 1 to 3. We subtract 1 for Tampa Bay, so it's only 1 to 2. Okay. So let's see. A 1 to 2, and Tampa picks it off. So Tarkenton throwing this to Rashad. Nope, that's not intercepted. And so Ahmad Rashad. So they avoid the rush. It's not intercepted. And you always do pressure first, by the way. If there's any kind of things going, see what happens on the pressure, because that immediately what happens, and then go on to something else. Even though the interception would be better, Grant did say go with the pressure first and solve that first. So a medium pass to Rashad, I said that 6 times, is a 61. A 61 is complete, and a 67 plus the 10 here is 77 and 13 yards. So Ahmad Rashad, 13 yards, and not out of bounds or anything. So that'll be Minnesota ball, first down, 1st and 10 at the Tampa Bay 27-yard line. So Minnesota, again, on the march here at home. So here we go. I'm trying to get my helmets to look good over here. All righty, so Minnesota, 1st and 10. A 2 and a 2. So I can tell you right off the bat, that's going to be an inside run for Chuck Foreman. I don't even have to check on that, right? And it says and Grant also mentioned that once the hockey game's out every 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, I got talking to him about his hockey game. We're going to have him on the show in a couple weeks, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. It looked interesting. Again, and after I've played this, I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be kind of fun. All right, so we're going to go inside run the Chuck Foreman, and he's a 44. Possible penalty, and Tampa Bay stacks him up at the line. That 44 becomes a 29, right? 34, 29. So it's a 29. And the 29 is 1 yard. So they stack them up for a 1 yard gain, but let's check the penalty. That's going to be holding on the offense. So it's going to be holding, and that'll be 10 yards on the flag, and that'll back up the Vikings. So Minnesota will have a 2nd and 20 now, back on the Tampa 37-yard line as we back that up 10 yards for the hold. I think penalties handled very well in this game, by the way. This thing does a lot of things very well. Not that other games don't, that's not what I'm saying, But this game, I like how it handles the penalties. It's pretty smooth. everything's pretty smooth. This is a lot to it as some roads comes by. Things are coming by. All right, so we got a second, and I'm sorry, that's a first down. That was 1st and 10, 1st and 20 now. So we got a 1st and 20. So we got a 7 and a 15. That's gonna be an outside run, and a 15 is going to be McClanahan. All right, so McClanahan's going to try to get some of this penalty back on the outside run, and McClanahan is a 29. Possible fumble. A 29. Tampa defense is bringing it here on this drive. So the 29 minus 15 is 14, right? So that's a 14, and he gains 2 yards on the play. Let's check for the fumble. So his fumble rating's 1-7, and no, he doesn't fumble the ball, but he does only get a couple of yards as the Tampa defense stacks him up. So we have 6.5 to go here in the half. Minnesota ball. It's a 2nd and 18 on the Tampa 35. As for the CFL, the only real difference is the 3 downs instead of 4. You'll have more pass plays and don't notice a larger field of play in the 12 players. Okay. At some point, I'll give that a try. I know Grant was playing it on one of his videos. All right, 2nd and 18 on the Tampa 35. Minnesota drive starting to sputter here. 2nd and 18, and it's going to be a 6, and that's going to be a medium pass. And that medium pass is going to 5, and it's going to be Sammy White. He's had a quiet game, Sammy White. Actually, if I kept the stats along the way, I could tell you what's going on, but I'm just kind of having some fun here tonight, trying out my new method. So medium pass, Sammy White is a 60. No penalties, no Oh, there's one modification here. 60 is complete. Sammy White hauls it in. And the 77 plus 10 is an 87. They found a seam. And 87 is 18.5 yards. They needed 18, and they got 18.5. So Sammy White for 18.5 yards. And that's a first down. So 1st and 10, Minnesota converting on 2nd and 18. And that'll bring that to the 16.5 yard line. Is that right? Yep. So at the Tampa Bay 16.5 yard line. Yep. All righty. So Minnesota now threatening here with 6 minutes to go in the half. And we got a 17 and a 16. And so on 1st and 10, a 17 is medium pass again. So they're going to go back to the air. And a 16 on a medium pass is Chuck Foreman. I expected to see a lot out of Chuck Foreman today, and that's what we got. So Chuck Foreman on the medium pass. He is a 61. Here comes the pressure, and there's a chance for an interception, so they're bringing it now. So the pressure's on the quarterback. His sack rating is 1-4, and the rush is 1, so it's a 1-5. So they're pressuring him. No, it's a 7. So he gets away. Let's check for an interception now. So the interception is 1-3. -1 is 1-2. Nope. So he gets away. The pass is not intercepted. And so the medium pass to Chuck Foreman, who is a 61, that's complete. Foreman hauls it in. We're going to subtract 3 from his medium rating, which is a 62. So that gives us a 59. And that's still going to be good for 8.5 yards. So the Vikings really driving now here with 5.5 to go. And that's going to be 2nd down and 1.5 on the Tampa Bay 8-yard line. Yikes, they're inside the 10. They're inside the 10. So 2nd and 1.5 for the Vikings, knocking on the door. Good sustained drive here by the Vikings so far. This has been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 play drive. And that started at their own 19. after that short punt. All right, so we got a 2 and 4. That's probably going to be an inside run to Foreman, I would think. 2nd and 1.5. Yeah, inside run to Foreman. So inside, Chuck Foreman trying to get this first down. Maybe he can bang that in from 8 yards out. Inside run for Foreman. He's a 44. No modification, no penalties. A 44 is 5 yards. And that's going to be a first down and goal. So Minnesota continues the drive. 1st and 10 at the Tampa Bay 3-yard line. So they're knocking on the door. Now, what I need to do is, I got this thing here. So there's this short yardage chart that I like to use. So it's either on a 4th down play or the goal line. So anything inside the 3, there's a little modification here. All righty. So I got to remember to use that. So I'm going to put my little modification chart here so I can check that. So we're on the 3, so it gets a little harder. And again, this game's full of little things like this that really make it fun. All righty. So we got a 1st and 3, we're going to call it. And so I got a 15 and an 18. So a 1st and 3. Wow, they're going to go medium pass from the 3-yard line. Yikes. They're going to go medium pass. And Tarkenton is looking for McClanahan. All righty. So on my chart, I suppose you could go medium pass. I don't know why you would. But I guess if you wanted to get in the end zone, you would. So I'm going to allow the medium pass. Because it looks like it's run, short pass, and intermediate pass is all that's up there. So I don't know if that's all he can use, but I'm going to let him go medium pass. Why not? So he's looking for McClanahan on the medium pass. And McClanahan is a 59. 59. And he's getting pressured, and he's going to check down. So here comes the pressure. So from the defense, we check the rushing range, which is a 1 to 6. Oh, they're going to flush him out. So the rush gets to Tarkenton, who is back looking deep in the end zone, and they flush him out. So Tarkenton running for his life right now with a 7. So he's still going to try to make this pass, but he's got to check down. All right, so that was the other question I had for Grant. So he's got the pressure. Yeah, this has happened twice tonight. So I get pressure, and it turns into a pass, but the card says check down. So does he try to force the pass? I mean, either way, it's going to be a -10. I'm going to say that he's going to check down here because he looked deep in the end zone and it wasn't there. So that's another question that I got to get answered is what happens on that? Because again, the result is pass -10, but then over here it's a check down. So I'm going to check down. So let's see who he's going to check down against. A 12. So he's going to check down to Chuck Foreman. So check down to Chuck Foreman. And Chuck Foreman is 80. On the check down, -10 is a 70. So the check down to Foreman on the 70 is complete. And 19 is 4 plus whatever on the next card. 11, that's going to be a touchdown. So Chuck Foreman, 3 yards, and he will get the touchdown on the check down. And the Vikings have cashed in, and they lead this one 13-6. So that drive was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plays. And that was from their own 19. So that's 81 yards? 11 plays, 81 yards for Minnesota for the touchdown. All righty. Pre-step movement, yeah. All right, so here we go. So let's check to see on the play here. So there's no flag, and I don't think there's a flag on an extra point anyway, but there's no potential fumble. So here comes the extra point try by Fred Cox, who's a straight-on kicker from what I remember, 1-17, and that is up, and that is good. So the Vikings take a 14-7 lead here with 5 minutes to go in the half. Yep. And again, it takes a while to play, but this has been very enjoyable. So we'll just finish out the half, and then we'll call it a night because I do have to work in the morning, and there's a couple emails I have to follow up on. Okay, so here we go. So here comes the kickoff now by the Vikings. So Fred Cox will kick this off. And so that's what we're going to look like on the kickoff. So his 6 is a 60-yard kick. So that, I believe, goes to the 5-yard line. So here's the second quarter. Minnesota with the kickoff. All right, how do we do this here? Location is the 35, so it's a kickoff on the 35. And who's going to receive this in case they bring it back? The 13 is going to be Johnson. So Johnson back to receive the kick here. So a 6 is 60 yards, and that's going to go to the 5-yard line. So it lands at the 5. And Johnson with the 7. This time it's not going to be a good return. Right? Johnson's a 13. And the 7 is 18 yards minus 3 is 15 yards. And, well, they'll get it to the 20. How about that? Oh, and no penalty. I forgot to check for a penalty the last kickoff. We've only had a couple of kickoffs. All right, so that's where the Buccaneers will take over here. So they have 4:45 to go. Tampa Bay with the ball, 1st and 10. And just as luck would have it, they would be at the Tampa 20-yard line. So here we go. So Buccaneer ball, trailing 14-7. As Al Red Sox fan comes by. And again, I know I've been on a while. I didn't expect to be on this long, but I'm just going to finish out the first half, handful of plays, and then call it a night here. All right, so on 1st and 10, Buccaneers are going to go medium pass. And 2, they're going to be looking to Morris Owens, who caught the touchdown pass earlier. So Morris Owens on the medium pass. He's a 49. And, we're going to add 10. So he's going to be a 59. And this is going to be caught. Owens with the catch. All right? Owens with the catch. And where else? So we got to look at his medium pass range or yardage is a 40. Oh, plus 10 is a 50. And a 50 is 9 yards. So he dumps that out to Owens for 9 yards. So Tampa Bay has it now 2nd and 1 on the Tampa Bay 29-yard line. All right, not a bad little pass here. And this is 1976. Yes, it is. And it's 14-7 Minnesota. Tampa Bay with a 48-yard bomb got on the board in the first quarter. That was kind of cool. All right, so we got a 2nd and 1. That's going to be an inside run. And it's going to be 19 on the inside run. So it's going to be Rod McNeil with a 51. So Rod McNeil, inside run. And we have an odd play. So let's play it. Let's go odd play, shall we? Here's my odd play. So we're going to roll the dice here. So we're going to roll and that was on a running play, right? Yep, inside run. So here's the odd play. That is an 8. And the offense looks disorganized as the play comes in too late. The quarterback calls timeout. So the Buccaneers will use their timeout. That's Buccaneer ball. It really is. All right, so we got a timeout, Tampa. So we're going to reset the play. So timeout. So this one doesn't count. And so we'll do this again. So Tampa Bay, 2nd and 1 on the Tampa Bay 29-yard line. Let's see how this one goes. Spurrier is in for the quarterback in this one. And again, I'm not playing exact lineups because they didn't really play, so I'm just kind of winging it. So we have a 2nd and 1. A 13 is going to be an intermediate pass. So intermediate pass, and 16 is Essex Johnson. All right, so Spurrier looking for Essex Johnson on an intermediate pass. and it's a 59. And we get some pressure coming. Oh, boy. So the Vikings, the Purple People Eaters coming in on the pressure, and we're going to add 2 to that pressure rating. And their range is 1 to 12. So now it's a 1 to 14. And yes, they're going to flush out Spurrier. Spurrier running for his life right now. A 10. He's going to try to make a pass minus 15. He's going to throw this one up. So intermediate pass for Johnson, minus 15 now. So that's going to be a 59 minus 15. So that's going to be a 44. And this one's going to be incomplete. So good job by the Viking D flushing that one out. And that's going to create a 3rd and 1 on the Tampa Bay 29 for the Buccaneers. And a 9 and a 5 on 3rd and 1. So that's going to be a stretch. So they're going to keep this on the ground. And a 5 on the stretch. Armstrong is Lewis Carter. All righty, so Carter on the outside run. I mean the stretch. Carter on the stretch. Carter on the stretch is 29. And no modifications. So a 29, 3rd and 1, and he will pick up 3 yards. So he'll squeak that forward and get the first down. 1st and 10 now, and they will get that to the Tampa Bay 32-yard line. And that's where we'll continue here. 3:45 to go. Tampa's got to pick up the pace here if we want to get into field goal range. So a 5 and a 4 first down. That's going to be an inside run, and that's going to go back to Carter. So we're going to inside run to Carter. Inside run is a 31 for Carter. Uh-oh, we got a possible bad snap here. So on the bad snap, we roll on the 20 range for the quarterback. Let's start with that before we get anything crazy here. So a 1 to 3. Oh, it's a 2. It's a bad snap. It's a fumble. Spurrier fumbles the snap. Okay, so I haven't had a fumble before. So what do I got to do now? Because it was a bad snap, we roll to see who. Okay, we need to flip this next card. So it's 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So that's where he fumbled it. So he must have been doing something crazy, trying to reverse or something. So he fumbles the ball 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And let's see who recovers it. So, oh no, I'm sorry. On a run, it's -2. I'm sorry. I screwed that one up. Yeah, he just told me that too, so I'm glad I remember that. So on a run play, it's -2. So it's a -2 behind the line of scrimmage when he fumbled it. Whew, good thing I remembered that. He just emailed me that. All right, so bad snap. It is a fumble in Spurrier, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but he gets the chance to recover it. So Tampa Bay fumble recovery is 1 to 10. And it's a 10, and he falls on it just barely. So now we need to see what happens on this here. Now, can they return it? Yes. That offensive return thing, that means they can pick up the ball and run with it. So Spurrier fumbles it 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. See, I'm figuring this out. And now we get the bad snap, and that's an 8, and there's no return. So he just falls on it. So it's a -2 yard loss on the fumble. So Spurrier fumbles the bad snap, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He falls on it, and there's no return. So a busted play for Tampa Bay there. And so now with 3:15 to go here in the first half, it's going to be a 2nd and 12 back on the Tampa Bay 30. They back it up 2 yards. All right, cool. That's how we handle a bad snap fumble. I've never done that before. That worked out pretty well, I thought. And again, not that it matters a lot because the fumbles are usually, 1 to 10 and 1 to 9 out of a 20. But anything that the quarterback fumbles on a bad snap, or if it says fumble quarterback, you roll for the offense to recover. All other fumbles, you roll for defense to recover. So again, little things like that. Okay, so we got a 4 and a 12, 2nd and 12, and a 4 is going to be an outside run. So they're going to keep it on the ground just to be safe. 12 on the outside run is going to be Williams. So Ed Williams will get the ball. Outside, Ed Williams is a 37. Oh, we got another fumble chance here. Another chance for the fumble. Okay, so we got to roll again. Let's see if he fumbles again. So Spurrier having problems here. So he's got a 1-3 on the fumble. No, this time he hangs on to it, so he doesn't fumble this one here. So on the outside, they're gonna try the run stuff. Yeah, we're gonna try the run stuff. So we're gonna roll a D12 against the defense run rating. So Spurrier has problems with it. Now the penalty doesn't count because that says north, so there's no penalty. So we resolved there's no fumble. They're gonna try to run stuff us here. So the Vikings pile up on the 4-3 defense, and we go up against their run rating, which is a 5. And that's a 9, so they don't get the stuff. So it's just going to be a normal run now. So, boy, the Buccaneers avoided the fumble, avoided the people at the line, and now Williams on the outside with a 37, is going to pick up 3 yards. All right, so he manages to sneak ahead and pick up 3 yards on that crazy play, and that's going to set up third and super, super long. And so with 2:45 to go, Minnesota might be looking to call timeout here. So it's going to be a 3rd and 9 on the Tampa Bay 33. So now this looks more like the Buccaneers. It really does. 3rd and 9. And we got a 6 and an 8. So 3rd and 9 is going to be a medium pass. And we're looking at 8, and that's going to be John McKay, the coach's son. You got to throw to the coach's son once in a while, right? So here goes John McKay on a medium pass. He's a 48. Okay, there's nothing here. So just the 48 is he a star? No, it's going to be incomplete. So the Buccaneers will go nowhere really on this drive. Yep, so they had a timeout, incomplete, 3 yards, the fumble. Oh, geez, how did I do this here? Oh, no, they got the 9-yard gain. That's why. Okay. And so in Minnesota is going to call a timeout, by the way. So incomplete, Minnesota timeout. All right. And so we're going to just take 15 seconds off the clock on that one. Actually, so incomplete. No, they don't need to call a timeout because it was incomplete. My bad. So 2.5 to go. And it's 4th and 9 on the Tampa 33, so they're going to punt. So let's bring out the punt unit. All right, so Dave Green comes in to kick this one. And this is what we have right now. So it's going to be a 6. So we're going to have to do the punt right now. So it's going to be a punt. Back to receive the kick is Leonard Willis. So Willis is back. What you talking about, Willis, to return the kick? The punt is a 6. It is not going to be fair caught. 6 on the punt is 37 yards. So 37-yard kick. So they're on the 33. So it's 27 to the 50 plus another 10. So it's going to be kicked to the 40 of Minnesota. And that's where what you're talking about, Willis, is going to pick it up. And his punt return is 17. Oh, that's a good punt return. 10 yards. 10 yards. He brings it up to midfield. Oh, so the Vikings are in good shape here. So the Vikings here with 2:15 to go in the half have a 1st and 10 at midfield. That's pretty good. So Tampa Bay, they went 13 yards, and was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays, 13 yards. Not good at all. How'd they even get that? All right, so let's wrap up the first half here, folks. All right, so it's going to be Viking ball, and they got 1st and 10. And now what we're going to do, because we're running out of time, is we're going to speed this up. So we're going to go to the 2-minute drill chart, and that gives us like more passing is what it does. We'll find out. Oh, I don't want that. I want this. All right. All right. What do we got here? 15 and a 19. So it's going to be a medium pass from the 50-yard line, and a medium pass to 19 is going to be McClanahan. All right. So here we go. So medium pass to McClanahan. No pressure. We're going to add 3 if he catches it. So the medium pass to McClanahan is 59. Incomplete. Can't make the catch. So we've reached the 2-minute warning here in Minnesota. And they have the ball here, 2nd and 10 at midfield. All right, so let's see what they do now. 11 and 13, so 2nd down. So it's going to be another medium pass. And a 13 on the medium pass is going to be Chuck Foreman. They're going to try to get Chuck Foreman coming out of the backfield. All right, so medium pass to Chuck Foreman. Possible fumble if it's caught. All right, so we keep an eye on that. No other modifications here. And Chuck Foreman's medium pass range to catch it is a 61. That is caught. And his medium is a 62. And that's going to be 12 yards. And now let's check for the fumble. So Chuck Foreman catches it, runs 12 yards, and his fumble is a 1-5. Oh, he fumbles the ball. He fumbles the ball. So Chuck Foreman fumbles the ball. And let's see who recovers it now. So Tampa Bay gets the roll to recover it, right? And their fumble recovery range is 1 to 10. And oh no, it's recovered by the Vikings. And let's see where that fumble was. So that was on a medium pass. It was at the end of it. So right where he caught it and ran to, that's where it was. They can return it. So let's see if they're going to get any return here. A 14. Use team fumble return shot. So they are going to pick this fumble up. Although I don't know if I think back in the day you could do that, right? So they will return the fumble 3 yards. So we're going to get a total of 15 yards out of that after the +3 for the fumble. So that worked out. And they will call timeout to save some time here. So Minnesota that's going to be a first down, and they will bring it down to the 35-yard line of Tampa Bay. So Minnesota, Foreman with a catch, he fumbles it. It rolled 3 yards forward, but the Vikings get it back, and they have it now on the 35-yard line. 1:45 to go. And so that might be a run, actually. 1 to 1st and 10. Yeah, that's going to be an inside run. So they're going to keep it on the ground, try to catch the Buccaneers guessing here, maybe to try to get in field goal range. So inside run to 17 is going to be McClanahan again. So McClanahan, inside run of 30. -8 is 22. And he will get 2.5 yards on the play. So, and he doesn't go out of bounds. So Minnesota's going to call another timeout. So they've used 2 timeouts now. So it's going to be 2nd and 7.5 from the Tampa Bay 32.5-yard line. Still not in field goal range. Fred Cox warming up on the sideline. So we got a 2nd and 7.5. So we're going to get a 13 now. That's going to be a medium pass to Ahmad Rashad. Nice. All righty. So a medium pass to Ahmad Rashad. Rashad's a 61. No pressure or anything. So a 61 is complete. And we got a -12, though, from the catch. So it's going to be a 55 instead of a 67. A 55 is 6.5 yards. All righty. So that's going to bring us down to a minute to go. Minnesota's going to rush up to the line of scrimmage here. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 from the Tampa Bay 26-yard line. So from the 26-yard line, Minnesota rushes up to the ball. They get a chance for one more play, then possibly a field goal, although they can call timeout, I think. So we have a 12 and a 10 on 3rd and 1. They're going to go short pass to 10, and that's going to be on my chart is Chuck Foreman. All right, Chuck Foreman coming out of the backfield here on 3rd and 1. And he's going to check that down if it's medium. Nope, and nothing here. So, okay, we are going to subtract 10, though, on the result if he catches it. So Chuck Foreman, short pass, is an 80. 80 is a catch. His 19 is going to be a 9, though, and it's only good for 2 yards. So with 30 seconds to go, unless we want to call a timeout, that'll be a first down. So let me figure this out here. So it's going to be a first down. They're going to be at the Tampa Bay 24-yard line. We'll use our last timeout. So that gives us 45 seconds to go in the half. And so we'll try one more play, and then that'll get us room for a field goal. Okay, so here we go. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now on the Tampa 24. And I think we're going to I might override this and go. I'm going to go with a long pass here because if we don't get into the end zone, well, no, they might be playing field goal too. So I don't want to guess here as D. Scott Howard comes by. Just catching at the last part of the half here. And oh boy, it's almost 11. I need to get to bed. All right, so we're just gonna go with what it says, and they're gonna just plan this accordingly. So on a 1st and 10 on a 4, they're gonna go outside run, and it's gonna be Chuck Foreman. All right, so Chuck Foreman's going outside, and oh boy, outside is a -10. They were ready for that. So it's gonna be a 33, and that'll be 3 yards. And he gets out of bounds, though. So that'll stop the clock with 30 seconds left. So we have a 2nd and 7 on the Tampa Bay 21-yard line. And so he did get out of bounds. I forgot to check that they have the out of bounds things here. That just makes it so much fun. This game, they thought of everything. They really did. It's just a matter of me remembering it all. All right, so we're going to go again. We got a 2nd and 7. We got 30 seconds left. We do have one timeout left, so we can make that timeout to kick the field goal. And I got a 13 and a 17 on 2nd and 7. And that's going to be a medium pass. Good, because we need to get that deep. And a medium pass 17 is going to be McClanahan. All right, so a medium pass to McClanahan. He's got to check down, though. So he's going to check down, and he's going to check down to 9, which is Chuck Foreman. So he's going to check down to Foreman. And so it's going to be a short pass now. And Foreman short pass is an 80 minus 10 is 70. And that's going to be a completion of Foreman. And his short pass is 19, but we're adding 30 to this. So he's got 49. He's got a little bit of daylight here. And 49. Oh, man, that's an A. And Chuck Foreman is actually a B, so he's going to be running here. At 16 yards. Oh no, now what do we do? Checked it down to Chuck Foreman, who spins that up for 16 yards. They're going to call a timeout. So we got 15 seconds to go, and that's going to be a first down, and it's going to get down to the Tampa Bay 5-yard line. So this is our dilemma. Now, if I use the chart here, an incomplete pass is only 7.5 seconds. So in theory, I could use this chart here and have one more play. However, if I'm sacked or anything else happens on this, right? So it would have to be a pass. And if I got tackled in, I probably have to kick the field goal. If I was at the 2 or something, I might. But we got to take the field goal. I know it's Tampa Bay, but we're going to take the field goal. All right, so let's try the field goal. So from the 5 and 7, that's a 22-yard field goal, right? From the 5, because we're going to put it at the 7. No, we'll put it at the 12. Yeah, 22-yard field goal. All right, so it's 22-yard field goal for Fred Cox. Comes in from 22 yards away. Now, his range from 22 is 1 to 14. So is our Red Sox fan here? Let's see. This was a decent drive. It started on the 50-yard line, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, 45 yards. It's a good drive. And they're leading 14-7, trying to make it 17-7 at the half. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so let's check the play. So there's no block, there's no penalty or anything like that. Fred Cox needs a 1 to 14, and it's good. The field goal is good at the half. And so now the Vikings will lead this one 17-7 at the half. And that's where we're going to take our break here. And yeah, that was a great drive. The shoulder fade, yeah. I thought about this is 76. You know what I mean? So you got to keep that in mind that it is 76. So, yeah, that is that. So some more of 49 Quick Text football. This is fun. Again, I've been at this all night. It's going to take me forever to play these games, but it's still so much fun. Just watching it play out and just, again, there'll be a time where, it's going to, I don't have time for a long game, but I had a little bit of time tonight. So I figured I'd set up Minnesota, Tampa, and just play and have some fun. So, all right. So I got to wrap this up here. I got a long day tomorrow. I got to work in the morning at my rink for, 6 or 7 hours. Then I come home and we set up for around, I think it's like 3:30 my time. We're going to have a roller hockey broadcast. And I'll see if I got the link, I'll try to send that over to everybody so you can watch some of it. But that's where we stand right now. So at the half, it's 17-7 Minnesota. Maybe I'll do some stats. Because I do have all the stats here. So I suppose I could, just for fun, go through and see how everybody's doing and the whole bit. But yeah, this is fun. This is fun. Again, you couldn't do too much of this as far as a full season because it takes forever to play, but it's so fun. So, all right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Dave from Studio B. I'm going to wrap up here, clean this up, get ready for my broadcast tomorrow. And who knows, maybe we'll come back with a second half and, depending how long I go tomorrow night, maybe I can play some more or maybe a little bit on Sunday or something like that. We'll see. But I'm Dave, and thanks for tuning in and watching us here. Bye-bye.